I know you, I can feel you with the green of soul. It's more than empty dreams and promises. It's not affecting me no more. When all I say to you is that it's gone, you won't be feeling me no more. I know you, I can feel you with the green of souls. When you're not looking at me, I feel so slow. With all those dreams of all our memories, it hurts not being alone at one. And thoughts of you just bring me down inside. I sing it with the green of souls. I know you, I can feel you with the green of souls. When you're not looking at me, I feel so slow. Get your hands up. It's more than empty dreams and promises. It's not affecting me no more. When all those dreams of all our memories, I take it with the green of souls. I know you, I can feel you with the green of souls. When you're not looking at me, I feel so slow.
All right, you guys. Let's get it in one more time. On a beautiful Thursday right here. Thanks for joining me on the listening room. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, like the video for the content. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Eddie Booz. I am your host, and my guest was with me last week, and he quickly became a listening room favorite. You guys requested him. Quite a few of you guys hit me up and said we want to see that guy back. So here he is today by popular demand, Mr. Ari Pay. How you doing, my brother?
What's up, man? How are you?
Good to see you, boss.
Good, man. Good.
Hell yeah, dude. So things are kind of getting ready to open back up here. In fact, wait. Before we jump into it, I know we were just talking about this, but I got to get in some gratitude. Got to get in a little bit of gratitude. Got to start the show off like I like to start my day off. What's going down, Tristan? Tina, great to see you. Tristan, Mom, everybody in the house, you guys, wonderful to see you guys today. Okay, you guys, so I like to start my show off like I like to start my day off with a little bit of gratitude. So today, Ari, why don't you give me something you're grateful for today?
Today, I'm grateful for family. You know, family that just, they always have my back.
Love it.
No matter what. Whatever way you go, they're gonna kind of be there for you. But at the same time, when you're going wrong, they're gonna steer you in the right direction and let you know you took the wrong turn. So, if anything, it's family.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, and I like when I like that because family doesn't coddle you. Family is willing to tell you, and this includes close friends who you consider family. They're not afraid to tell you the truth, to sit you down when they feel. I talked to Kyle Romero a little bit about this last night about being self-aware enough to hold your friends accountable, but in the right way.
Yep.
Instead of coming at them, from a place of of defensiveness or anger because maybe they acted in a way that maybe you wouldn't have, to being self-aware enough to approach your family member or a good friend and say, hey, look, man, I understand you may have done, this because of this, but, here's how it, looked to everybody else, or, just being honest. I think really having that, the balls enough to just sit and be honest with a friend that, or family member, or a friend that's close enough to be a family member. I think that's a big thing too. So I appreciate that in the family member, and that in what you were talking about, in that gratitude of not enabling and just kind of holding people accountable, and being close enough and being aware enough to do so. So. I dig on that, man. That's cool, dude. So as well, I'm gonna jump piggyback on that real quick, and I'm gonna say I'm so happy and grateful for Miss Daisy today, for my dog. She just ran out there outside right now, but she's always here for me. She's family too, and she's like she's like my child. I don't have any kids, but I got Miss Daisy, and I love that girl so much. So today I'm so happy and grateful for Miss Daisy. Unconditional love, always here. Nice. So yeah, man. But nice. Anyway, I love to have you here today, man. So guys, I always like to say on the show that I find it very important. I find it of paramount importance to be active in your own mental and emotional health. And I find one of the best ways to do that is through acknowledging the things you're grateful for. So thinking about them, talking about them, writing them down. Writing them down was a big one for me. Like, I have a journal that's got it's got over 1,400 things that I'm grateful for in it. It just says, it's literally like standards. It's like, I am so happy and grateful that blank. And like half of the things are things that are in my life, and half of the things are the things that I want in my life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I am so happy and grateful that blank, like it has already happened. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So it's like manifesting these things and just kind of being grateful, signaling the gene ahead of the environment, ahead of it actually happening, signaling the gene, having an emotional reaction, to the gratitude you feel from thinking about what it would be like to have what you want. Miss Daisy, that's my girl.
Miss Daisy.
Absolutely. So you guys stay active in your own mental and emotional health. I find one of the best ways to do that is to acknowledge your gratitudes, you guys. So talk about them, think about them, write them down. Talk about them with people you know. Talk about people you don't know. But yeah, try and do your best to stay in that kind of in that kind of vibe and that kind of consciousness, and don't let the outside world or the circumstances of everything that's going on around you dictate your feelings all the time. Stay active. All right, you guys. Love you guys. So moving on real quick here, I did want to ask Ari. I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to things opening back up and kind of getting going again. Ari's, if you guys weren't with us last week, Ari was with us. Ari was one of the marketing directors for Vans Shoe Corporation for 9 years. He's done wonderful work with the community. He owns multiple businesses in the area, and he's just a generally awesome guy and a community leader. So we wanted to talk to Ari today about how we can best shift into this opening back up, and how businesses and business owners, and as well, people who are jumping back into the workforce after being on unemployment as well. How best can we start to get geared up now? Start to take some action now, 3 weeks, 4 weeks out from doors opening on some of these businesses on full go. You know what I mean? Because, like, for instance, like movie theaters are opening back up like late August. You know what I'm saying? Like, things along those lines. So like, how can businesses, and I'm not talking about just businesses that are brick and mortars. I'm also talking about home businesses, things along those lines as well. So Ari, go ahead. What's up? What's going down, Kevin? How you doing, brother?
Oh man, that's a good one. So it's tough because when you talk about marketing, there's always it's ways of resonating messaging out, but at the same time, there's also protocol that has to be followed when you talk about the hierarchy of law, when you think coming out from the state. But I think if we just talk about just kind of things to keep in the back of your mind as a business owner, like maybe like the things that we can kind of make sure that we're always thinking about, so when we do have the opportunity, we can execute it out and activate against it. So marketing is a pretty broad terminology. Everybody thinks marketing is just straight social media, but marketing is a culmination of like hundreds of categories, whether you look at it from print, web, community activation, you look at guerrilla marketing. I mean, there's so much in the, like design, it's so much. But when you're a business owner, especially an entrepreneur, you kind of got to look at it from a couple different angles. But if you look at like your activation within print, your web platform, and your community.
Is print even a thing anymore? I mean, is print even a viable option of marketing nowadays?
I would say it depends. You have to really look at who your consumer and what language you're speaking to your consumer demographic. So if you're going to ask me if I'm going to send a mailer out to a certain demographic of 65 and over, yes, print matters, because print, they still read the paper, they still read print. But if you're talking about a demographic that's maybe, Gen X, YZ, or whatever younger, then you got to look at that social platform, whether it's through, TikTok, Facebook for old people, Instagram, Twitter, there's so many different parts. I guess as a business, print is still relevant, there are still magazines around, but it's tough because when you have a marketing budget, you got to figure out where print lays and where you're going to get your most ROI for the value that you're going to spend, right? So as a business owner, you need to figure out who your consumer is. Find out.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a really astute observation, because to be honest with you, you think that most business owners would know that, but most don't. Most don't ever even really take the time to say, who is my demo, and how do I reach my demo? Not just, hey, I'm open for business, I hope I get business.
So you figure out who your demo is, and you need to speak that language. So if I'm talking to a bunch of 21-year-olds, then you need to speak the language. How are those 21-year-olds communicating with each other? Are they talking through the web platform? If they are doing through Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, then those are the sectors you need to play in, because that's where they're holding most of the communication. A lot of socialization is happening there. So then you need to figure out in those platforms, what are you doing? Like, are you doing ad buys? Are you doing push marketing? Are you launching campaigns? Are you telling stories? Then you kind of just got to go from there. But I mean, again, nowadays the boiler playbook of marketing, it's so different because it's ever changing all the time. So you have to be very creative and really understand who you're speaking to. Because once you can understand who you're speaking to, then spending money on your marketing budget won't be as stressful, because you know that this is where my consumer sits in this marketplace. This is how I got to talk to them.
Can you give me like a material example of that?
Okay, let's just say surfing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Okay, let's talk about surfing. Okay,
sports company.
When you look at like some of the guys that do surf, there's so many different sectors of surfing. Let's just call it like the old school longboard 70s, guy, and this new generation. They're not. I mean, right now surfing it's a culture.
Sure.
So.
You talk
to a old school longboarder a lot different than you talk to like a younger up and coming ripper, right?
Sure.
So obviously the old schooler still likes maybe like the stickers and still likes, like paper. They still read ads, but these up and comers, they're just on their phones.
All digital.
And they're socializing as quick as just swiping. So
for sure.
You see a lot of these brands inflecting their...
Is that what we're calling Tinder now, socializing?
I don't know what is that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that did. So in the end, it's like you got to figure out who your demo is. Like anything, like TikTok. Like, do you TikTok?
No.
All right, then. See, you're like the old guy like me. I don't TikTok, but my daughter TikTok.
You know what's crazy though? I tried TikTok.
Yeah.
And the very first video I posted was just like a little edit I put together of my band doing the Lakewood Car Show when we did at Mayfair Park.
Yeah.
And organically.
Yeah.
I didn't have any followers, but organically that video had like 300 or 400 views.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, now how the hell does that work?
Yeah.
But no, I didn't stick with it, and I'm not really a big TikTok guy. I'm not huge, to be honest with you. The only major platform that I really have been using the last couple of years has been YouTube.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So here's a better. Let's give you a better example. Fishing. Okay, fishing's evolved.
For sure.
There's a couple of fishing people watching. Like Kevin and Mason. I know those guys are fishing guys.
Yeah, you guys are fishermen?
Look at fishing. 10 years ago.
So you guys would have been easily, just so you know, you guys can go to Turner's right now and walk right in.
Yeah.
I had to wait yesterday in the firearms section for probably an hour to get in. So
yeah,
you guys are good.
So like fishing, like 10 years ago, you would go to these trade shows, and it was just very standard. Like it was like older guys that fished. You got boats there. It just felt like it was really old, and there was nothing cool unless you were there going for something specific. Like,
right.
I'm a fisherman. I need some jigs. I need some bait. I'm going there because I know they're going to get rid of it at a wholesale price or cheaper. But now the fishing shows evolved. Like these kids, like Mason, he's like my buddy's son. He fishes, and it's a whole new generation. Like they're younger, they're cooler. Now you go to these shows, like you're seeing younger, cool, like lifestyle brands, like this company that doesn't even they fish, but they have cool fishing apparel that everybody's stoked to wear, you know. And then now these younger kids are fishing. It's just crazy, like how things evolve. So like when you look at social media and you look at marketing, like, okay, you know,
interesting. And do you think, okay, so now that's a really good point. And do you think that some of the brands that have really come up within, you know, surfing or fishing, or do you think that that those have actually had a hand in pushing forward the actual sport itself?
Well, it's kind of tough.
I mean, because that kind of sounds
tough.
like what you're saying is kind of sounds like, you know, with the, you know, the advent and the influx of all of these cool brands and all of and a little bit more of the digital marketing and things like that, whereas it used to be fishing or surfing to the old school longboarder or to the, you know, to the old school fisherman, you know, it used to be print and things like that. Do you think that the newer brands, the cooler apparel, the more digital advertising, do you think that that's really pushing forward the actual sport itself and like moving like kids into it and bringing it and just growing it in general, just making it huge?
I truly feel it does.
I think you're because the way you're explaining it, it really feels like that to me. It feels like it makes sense.
So here's a great example. Like, you know, I like to fish, and you know, you watch the fish counts to see a certain type of fish that's hitting, right? You go on the Instagram page, it's such quick response and quick information getting out a lot faster than you wait until the evening when the fishing report comes out, when all the boats come in. You know, you can get it from some guy that just slammed 40-pound yellowtail at Catalina today. He'll be Instagram it, and you know the yellows are hitting.
Yeah, you're gonna hit
before the boats come in at 5 o'clock, clean the boats, and they post the reports at like 8 o'clock at night. You knew it was hitting during the day. So, I mean, information's traveling so fast now that, I mean, there's ways to, you know, accentuate some of these brands to another level.
Yeah, I'll take advantage of that shit, you guys. So if you guys are out there fishing and stuff, you know, like, hey, get ahead of the curve. Listen to what Ari's saying here. I like the way you think, man. I like the way you think. Yeah. Ray's out there. He says, do you recommend doing a small business while working a regular job, or just fully jumping in?
Ooh, that's a good one, man.
Well, I think here's the thing. I think somebody asked another question the other day that was very circumstantial, and I think this is very much the same. I think there's circumstances to that. I think, in my opinion, if you have a steady job, if you have something that you enjoy and that you're good at, and that you don't hate, but you're looking to change your life or looking to maybe make something that you love your job, what I would do is I would take an hour a day, maybe 2 hours a day after I got off work, because you're not working more than 8-10 hours. You take an hour or two a day and just put it towards whatever you love. Like, say if it's painting, put it towards painting for 2 hours a day until you have a couple of pieces, and then take 2 hours a day and call and email, you know, art galleries, and then, hey, you know, I'd like to, you know, add my pieces to one of your shows coming up pretty soon, or something like that, or maybe we could do a, you know, and all of a sudden you start setting these things up for yourself, and maybe you sell a piece here and there, and you're only putting 2 hours a day in still, mind you. You know what I mean? And then you sell a piece here and there, and then all of a sudden, you know, you make a little money, and wow, okay, I just made $1,000 on, well, how many hours was that? Oh, it was only like 30 hours I just put in. I made $1,000 on that. And then you start to think, well, hell, like maybe I could actually make money as, you know, doing this part-time. So maybe you ask your, you know, boss, or you get a job that's half the hours, and you put in half the hours towards the thing you love, and you build up. You don't necessarily need to jump in head first, as long as you move towards the direction of your goal, you know, inspirationally, you know, know where you're going, know what you want to do, and really move towards it. Not just, oh, someday, 10 years from now, I'm gonna be there. You know what I mean? No, take a fucking step. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do something and you have a side biz you want to rock, Ray, for instance, like, I know you're a mechanic, you know, dude, you restore old cars. Dude, if I were you, I'd be jumping into that on a side biz, dude. Like, hey, you know, I can restore your thing, but it's going to take me 3 months because I work a full-time job, but I guarantee you 10 hours a week on your car. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that, you know, and just be, you know, and figuring it out. So however you guys are doing it, you know, figure it out. You know, take a little time, or if you feel that it's, you know, on the other side of that coin, if you feel like it's a job that you hate and your boss is, you know, sucks, and your life sucks. I mean, I've personally jumped out of jobs and into something I loved and had faith in what I was doing before. But I can't tell anybody to do that. I think everybody needs to find their own path. I think everybody needs to find their own way with that. But there's a lot of things to take into account there. Artie, what do you got to say about that?
Well, there's a couple different things, you kind of got to figure out where you are, like, financially. If you can take that leap and not have to worry about money, okay, take the leap.
Right.
But also,
huge factor.
Before you take that leap, go get advice. Talk to people. Like, there's a lot of people that you probably are around you that can help you, or even look for a mentor in something and maybe that industry that can probably help you get there. But, like, kind of like the way I did it was you had a regular job, and then I had a side hustle. It was like printing T-shirts. And then at one point in time, if you're having a hard time making a decision and you can do both, then do both. At one point in time, you'll figure out when your side hustle will exceed your normal, let's call it your normal daily job. Then you can make a financially educated decision to say, okay, I'm making the same amount of money in both places. If I get rid of this is how I'm going to go. But sometimes to jump in deep, invest out of the gate, knowing nothing of what you want to get into, whether that business or not, I would kind of do some homework. I mean, maybe if you don't find out you're making enough money, maybe let's call it a side hustle, that second business that you want to do, maybe do your homework and study it for some time. So when you do jump into it, it's not new. You're not just trying to figure out, like in marketing right now, so I'm also a consultant for the Small Business Development Center of Los Angeles, right? So I have all these clients I'm speaking to, and one of the, I have 10 clients that are very assertive in saying, hey, we're in COVID, nothing going on. I want to plan. So when everything lifts, they're out of the gate, they're gone. Then I have these other clients that are very, okay, I'm just going to kind of wait till everything goes. I'll call you back when everything lifts and we'll get going again. So there's two types of thought there, but I think, everything boils down sometimes to finances, if you have a good reserve, awesome. But I would do both, because the fact that you do both puts you in a really uncomfortable position. So when you launch your business, you'll be comfortable. So when you launch a business, it's not easy. It's very wearing. Yeah. It's stressful, and people think owning a business is super easy. It's not. But the question is how fast do you get up when you fall or you fail?
Right.
So if your side hustle is if coming out of the gate and you fail and you get up quick and go, you're going to be fine no matter what it is. It's like picking up a ball. You keep throwing the ball every day, you're going to throw it further and further. You pick up the ball once a week, okay, you're going to get there. But like if you have a business that you started and it fails, then, keep going. But and again, I would recommend do both. That's just going to make you that much stronger as a person, that much more stronger as a business person, because it's going to allow you to think harder and make you think outside of the box and creatively, because when your back's against the wall, then you have to really think about how you're going to do it. Because I've had that feeling many times, my back's against the wall in the business. Oh crap, no money's coming in. What am I going to do? Let's get creative. Okay, we got to get to our accounts. We got to sell them early this season so we can get the first round of business to get us over this next couple months, and then let's go. Then the regular business will kick in. So you'll be surprised what pressure does. I like pressure, so pressure allows you to think sometimes the stressful part of thinking allows you to think outside the box and creatively and lets you go.
You're absolutely right. And the pressures and deadlines also do, and is they force you to actually make decisions. And when that happens, you are forced to take steps forward instead of analyze, strategize, and which way should I go type of thing. You know what I mean? When that stress is upon you, you're forced to, okay, I got to make a decision. And then what you do is you do you do the best assessment possible in the quickest time you can. Which is the best thing for me. Where's the best decision to go? And then even if it's not, don't be afraid to pivot and shift from a certain point moving forward.
No.
Bender says right here, I had to get a job to make ends meet in the beginning, but what I did was get a job that was somewhat based around my business. This educated me beyond the horizon, and I was making money doing it. It's very smart. Bender says, take the leap. I'm a risk taker. I put my business on the line a few times and said it's all or nothing. Bender, Ray asks Bender, you did trucking, right? Bender says, I own a junk removal property maintenance company. Sorry, Caps, but I have 3 trucks now working for me. That's great. See, that's legit. And you took a leap, I remember, dude, I remember when the Art Center Richmond Academy was running our first contracts. Everything was running great. And I had moved into this house. It wasn't long after I moved in here, and Long Beach Unified School District, the funding for our programs dried up. And I was doing everything I could to make ends meet, including mowing lawns. Like, I called a friend of mine who owned a landscaping business, and I said, "Hey man, what can I make mowing lawns with you?" And he was like, "I'll give you $5 a lawn." Yeah, you know what I mean. That's it. And I went, and I was like, and I went with him every day, and we mowed lawns for like a week or two, and I went and mowed a buddy of mine's lawn one day, and I was like, you know what, a guy like I knew in like elementary school, and I'm like, nope. I'm like, fuck this. And I went home, and I like, and like Bender said, like I made a leap, like, so the next day I woke up in the morning, and I spent literally 8 hours developing a way to get gigs. I like started making phone calls, and I started walking into businesses with my guitar, a CD for them, a list of the 200 songs that I played, and my calendar of places that I played. And I had on the calendar places that I was faking it. I was saying, I have this day booked and this day. I was acting like I was, I'm serious. And I got gigs that way. They were like, oh, okay, well, you're already playing at other places. Like, put them on there even if you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, dude, sometimes it's all about perception. You know what I mean? And hey, here's the thing. I did that with Cervello's. I walked into Cervello's. And I had a bunch of gigs that I was already playing: Tantalum, Sababa, Tracy's, Panama Joe's, you name it. You know what I mean? But I threw on there like, I'm playing every Monday, because I knew I didn't want to play Mondays. Yeah. So here I'm playing every Monday night. Yeah. And okay, cool. You're booked like 4 nights a week. I was booked 3, but okay, looks like you're booked 4 nights a week. Great. I didn't want to play Mondays, so instead of saying, oh, I want this day off, I just say, oh, I'm booked that night. You know what I mean? And I ended up getting a lot of gigs out of it, so it ended up being a positive thing. But here's the thing: you grow yourself, you put yourself out there, and I did that exact thing. And all of a sudden, within 1 week, I was making enough money to pay the rent in this house, because I took the leap. Just like Bender says, take the leap. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, not everybody's that daring to take a leap. So, in the eyes of the ones that aren't, and kind of like just playing on the fence, just do both. Yeah, do both as long as you
learn.
Can.
Get in the place you got to get, and then learn.
One day you're gonna be over it. Like, one of them has to give, and that will probably be the decision you're gonna make. Is either you take your side hustle business to another level, or you stay where you are in your corporate and collect your paycheck. So
Yep. And another thing too, you and I talked about last week is something that's I think is really important to like remember too, like something that maybe, let's say you want to start a business, you want to be something. Hold on, Bender says here, $5 a lawn, charge $75 an hour for that. LOL. He says, you must have been young, Eddie, when you did that, bro. Check this out. I'm 39 right now. Guess how old I was when I did that. Guess how old I was when I mowed lawns to make ends meet. I was 35.
Nice.
Bro. This was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, bro. I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty to make sure that I can feed myself and keep a roof over my head. I'd rather work hard. I'd rather work hard as fuck than complain, than sit around and complain and go hungry. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. But no, I was not young when I did that. I was 35. I was 35, 34, 35. This is just a couple years ago, so it wasn't fun. Let's put it that way. But that will drive you to do those things, to make those decisions.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I took the leap of being an entrepreneur to take my side garage business to a printing business. Can I get a shout out real quick to the OSG crew?
Dog, Kevin, OSG, Mason, bro.
Kevin, Mace, Kendall in the house. Some from Lakewood and some from far away.
Nice.
That was from Indio, man. But so real quick.
Indio, nice.
Yeah, so when I took the leap to launch the business, the wife gave me the blessing. Hey, try to do this, and then, she was in her job, and then I launched the business like in March or April to really leave corporate America, and then take my printing business and figure it out. 3 months later, she figures out she's gonna leave teaching at the school she's teaching. So we're going into summer with a mortgage. We have a kid. We got car payments. What are we going to do? So like that, like how you said, you just bit the bullet and did $5 a lawn. My back was against the wall. I didn't know how the hell I was going to do, coming into summer, how we're going to do business. How do you know what the hell is going to happen? So I just figured out, man, let me just bump everybody forward a season. So I asked my school business to pre-book and buy in the summer. So when they came into the summer, the new kids coming in really early, they had stacked inventory.
Right.
So 6 schools did it, got us through the summer. But again, my back was against the wall. I would have never thought of like telling them to buy early, buy their winter stuff now. So when the kids come in, that you have it on hand versus buying it, it's running out, and then they have to order it, then you get it like 3-4 weeks later. So I said, load up on it now. So all the schools loaded up on everything, and it got me through that summer, and we were blessed to and then she got picked up by a school, and it's been history since, man.
Dude, yeah, and since then you've not built up, you've built out, and actually you outsource a lot of your heavy work to other local businesses, local shops, which is super cool because you're spreading the love.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're spreading the love from the contracts that come in.
Yep.
You're not just saying, oh, we're gonna become the next Walmart of printing. We're gonna help everybody. A rising tide lifts all ships type situation, which is super awesome. I actually love that a lot. Actually, I feel the same way about the music situation here in Long Beach too. I was always the kind of that like that way about when I would get start to play in like bigger venues like Vault 350 and House of Blues and things like that. And I'd always try and make room for other local bands on those shows. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we got opening slot for for Zen Robbie or for whoever whoever was in the scene at the time, and they were doing the same for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was so. I like that. I like that a lot. There is something to be said for healthy competition that actually drives forward, a healthy business, but to also be to have some essence of like looking out for each other, you know what I mean, and trying to work together to succeed. I think is also super good, especially when you have the opportunity to do that, when the contracts are coming in, when they're big enough, when you have stuff that it might be better for you to say, you know what, let me hands off this one. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you feel me? Like, let me not get overwhelmed with the, what I mean? Like dumping, the next, 80,000 prints, on my own, spend the next 3 weeks, locked to this thing, but, I'm sure your guys would love it, but, even still, they'd be like, dude, I want to go see my wife, let me go see my kids,
I know.
But yeah, man. So you guys out there as well. Ari just got elected for city council, and some of the people who backed you for city council have been like some semi-celebrities. Ari's worked with a lot of like skaters, extreme sports stars, as well as baseball players such as Nomar Garcia-Parra as well. I think he supported you on your campaign. Who else supported you? Who else threw little shouts out to you? I saw that on your Instagram the other day. It blew me away.
Well, it was all strategic. It was all marketing.
For sure, bro. Look at this genius.
Like what you do. Sometimes you just gotta get into your wheelhouse and you gotta figure out who you're gonna reach and how you're gonna reach them. Blessed enough, I haven't seen Nomar in years, but we went to high school together.
Oh, did you? That's
St.
cool,
John
dude.
Bosco.
Nice, dude.
Go Braves.
And how, like, Christian Hosoi also backed you.
Yeah, Hosoi, Nomar, Christian Hosoi, Caballero.
Nice.
Eddie Fiola.
That's cool. I saw that actually. Yeah.
Steve Van Doren.
Yeah, I saw Steve doing that.
Pete
cool.
Derricks, he's a big Vans guy.
Awesome, dude.
So I was very, very blessed to have, some, even like Jason Negro, head coach of St. John Bosco football.
Very cool.
They, like that Bosco family is just it's crazy, dude. Like, you can always go to a Bosco brother for something, man. Like,
that's awesome, dude. So, really, you guys have that kind of like legit, like
that's one of the
interesting.
It's one of the things that go in that school, man. When a brother asks, someone's gonna step up. Someone's gonna step up. No matter what. It's crazy.
That's cool, dude.
It's pretty badass.
Wow.
But so what I did was I tried to resonate messages out.
Lakewood wasn't like that.
So, funny story. I'm in my shop, right, one day. Some guy goes, dude, Steve Caballero endorsed you. I saw it on your Instagram. I never voted, but I voted for you because, fucking Steve Caballero, dude.
That's cool.
And I was like, and for me, it was really.
He said, "I've never voted, but I voted for you." That's cool because of Steve.
For me, it was like resonating
cool.
resonating that message to like the people in Lakewood, because they're just I'm a Lakewood guy. I've been here
Right.
49 years. I like, so it was be able to kind of resonate that message that I'm just a regular guy like you, just blessed to be in a position to protect our community now. So, I mean, I'm not that much or any different than who I am before, outside of reading a lot now, but I'm very blessed to have really good mentors in this sector, for that. So, yeah, but I'll never forget that. Some guy came in and I got a lot of good comments on Nomar. That was really cool. And Christian Asoy, a lot of good comments on Christian Asoy. There's a couple I wanted they were traveling, and I don't want to say who they were, but man, if I would have got them, I'd be like, whoa, dude, that's like deep in the music punk rock.
That's
scene.
tight,
Yeah,
dude.
But some didn't work out, some did.
Good stuff, dude. That's really cool, man. That's really cool. So you are city council, but you're a surfer. You're an extreme sports guy. You're you're surfer skater.
Just a regular bro like
you're
you,
a regular
like,
dude,
man.
regular punk rocker.
Yeah, dude,
from
that's it,
from
man.
back in the day. So how is it being putting yourself into the political realm? Being a regular dude, I mean, what is that like? You got elected to city council,
Yep.
pretty healthily, the vote as well. I might add. So what's it like, man? What's it like being kind of in that arena? What's it kind of like being thrown into that arena? I mean, you've always been advocating for community and for community organizations, community entities, community individuals. But what's it like having the power to, and being thrown into the realm of legislation?
So I guess let's start from the beginning so you can kind of get a scope of where I'm coming from.
Yeah, please do.
So getting involved in the nonprofit sector and really being activated in the community let me be on the ground floor. Let me be on the ground floor of just giving back, service above self, being
Right.
able to connect with a lot of these high profile community leaders and able to share input and thoughts and also learn. One of the biggest, I think, jabs at me during my campaign that really stuck with me says that Ari's a chronic volunteer.
So terrible.
So I asked my wife, I'm like, man, I'm a chronic volunteer, but if you're offered a position to lead an organization because of your skill set, how are you not going to walk through that door and say like, yeah, I'll lead this position or I'll take this role because I want to learn, right? One of the things of being an entrepreneur was, because also I had my business and giving back to the community takes a lot of time. So one of the things was, you give back time, but you're potted with these like executive directors, VPs, community leaders, let's call it like politicians, and you get to ask questions. As an entrepreneur, you don't have professional development. You got to find it. The fact that I was involved in a lot of this nonprofit sector pretty heavily allowed me to learn and professionally develop, ideals and learn from my friends, my circle, to be able to take things to another level. So when you talk about getting thrown in the mix, I wasn't thrown in the mix. I was on the ground level, let's say the bottom of the barrel, just kind of just doing my thing and understanding everything, not knowing that this was going to come, because this was never in my wheelhouse until a good friend, my mentor, brought it up to me, Mr. Steve Croft. He oh yeah, he's the man. He brought it up to me and he goes, you should consider this. And I go,
Really, Steve's the one who kind of told you to consider running?
He goes, you should consider this, and I go,
Interesting. Is Steve still city councilor? Or did
yeah.
he? Okay.
Yeah, he's still city councilor. Very intelligent, smart, humble.
Was it Ron that left?
Yeah, so
that you ran for his seat?
Well, there was two seats that are open.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Wood's seat was open, and Ron Piazza. Ron didn't decide to run. So when he didn't pull his papers, I knew he wasn't going to run. So I kind of was in debate of whether to pull papers or not.
Sure.
But and Steve just had candid conversations with me.
You want some of these sour belts?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good, dude. Thanks. But so he just kind of laid the law for me. He never told me what to do. He just said, "Hey, this is it." He goes, "You just get to see the community from a higher level to make sure that everything is right for the people." So in the end, pulling papers, running a full-blown strategic campaign. I want to give a shout out to my campaign team, Edgar Aranda Group, man, and Jose Salache, man, that
Oh, Jose was on that?
they taught me the ropes, the game, the goods, the bad. They taught me where to stay, but granted enough, there's a lot of legwork that I put in already that I didn't know I put in. I mean, this was, again, never my wheelhouse, but blessed enough, the opportunity came and I took it. And man, it's awesome right now, man. This whole year is just, I mean, it's crazy. My first, 5-6 months in this, it's COVID, civil unrest, you're going to social inequalities. Now we're going back to COVID shutdown. It's crazy, but I guess if you're going to learn, let's learn now. But we have Lakewood.
You're like, trial by fire, motherfucker,
Yeah.
bring it.
But Lakewood, man, in the end is, I've been here 49 years, dude. Like,
Feel you.
It's
your home, man. It's your heart.
This city council is amazing, man. They're really humble and good people out for the right reasons.
I do
Yeah, they're
very good people.
Yeah.
Each person on the city council. I
they're
mean, I can't say
accessible, too.
enough about Jeff too. By the way, I love Jeff, but great people. Everybody on the city council that I know and that I've met. Todd, Steve, yourself, Jeff. Who else is on the city council as well?
So there's Todd as the mayor,
Mhm.
vice mayor is Jeff. There's Steve Croft, Diane Du Bois, and there's myself.
Diane and yourself. That's
Yeah,
right.
So
And I believe I've met Diane. I just don't think that I haven't gotten to know her
good
personally
people. They're all great
as well as
people,
I
man.
know
They're
the
all
rest.
Lakewood people. So for me, it's very inspiring that you hear and you read. Like, I'm not a politician. I'm a public servant.
Mhm.
And I'm engaged in the community. But
That's one thing too. I'll say too is
Yeah.
funny about this is that you have it's funny, you've lived the life of a politician but have never run for office. You've always done extracurricular activities for the community. You've always been done outreach. You've always been accessible for
because of
people in
mom
the
and dad, they
community.
got me into that.
and then but you've never been like, yeah, well, let me actually go and run for the office. But you're not out there doing stupid stuff. You've maintained a very a healthy perception in the public eye, as well as really actually made a change and difference in society and community relations and stuff over many times throughout the years. So living the life of a politician, I mean you might as well at least run for city council at some point in your life. Ari, what are you saying? What I mean? But Bender says, hey, thanks, Kevin. I appreciate that, brother. Bender says, you mean subcontracting? For me personally, no. I always find the guys that are really good at what they do, and I stick with them. Everyone's reputation is on the line. Every job. That's right. And when Ari works with other businesses around the area, when he contracts out these printing things, these printing jobs, these giant printing jobs to multiple places, it's very much the same. He gets from what I understand of the people you've worked with, they're most of the
Friends.
shops. Yeah, they're friends. They're super.
friends,
They're close.
yeah.
They're people you trust. So
Yeah.
in contracting them out, he's already contracting them to workers that he trusts, to people that are super close to him in general. He's just spreading the love on a giant contract instead of taking it all himself. But I totally get that too, because I am I'm overly analytical, because everything, okay, in business shit rolls uphill.
Yeah.
Because if it's always the manager who's gonna get, and the owner who's gonna get, be responsible for the mistakes of the person at the bottom. So I'm always very much a proponent of making sure that everybody's trained exactly the way I want them trained, and I know that I'm responsible for making sure that they're trained properly. And then if they do something wrong, or if then I know that it's my fault. Because I can take responsibility. You know what? I'm going to make sure I have this taken care of, make sure I cover my bases and have them trained properly next time. Unless obviously it was just an error or something, whatever, you know what I mean? But no, I think I totally agree. I think Ari would agree too. He's not just outsourcing to random businesses, you know what I mean? Like
No.
even as big, even as big of a metropolis as LA is, Lakewood is a very small, succinct community, and I think, and like I said, Ari, really trusts the people that he works with, and throws that out to, as well as I do, as far as education too. Like I said, my people work with kids, so I need to make sure that everybody's from top down on the level and perfectly doing their job. I can't have there's no room for error in the business that I run. None. absolutely none.
Error means money.
Yeah,
loss.
dude. Yeah, exactly. Kevin, thank you. Appreciate that, brother. He says, great show. Keep up the great interviews. Bender says, I wish I could sit and have coffee with these two guys and just talk business. These guys really make me feel enlightened. Bro, anytime, brother. We'll sit down or we'll Skype with you or whatever. We'll get you in on one of these conversations we do here. You can go ahead and email me too. Anybody you guys feel like chatting it up or you guys want to, would like to feel like you guys would be a good guest on the listening room, shoot me an email. At the listening room live at gmail.com. And if you guys have music or art or anything like that you'd like to show, including business, we could talk about your businesses as well. Business owners love to have entrepreneurs on the show and talking about how they made themselves a success. Because along the lines, you're going to find that there's parallels to all these success stories. There's certain things that everybody did that you're going to go, oh, wait. Like, the last three guys he had on did that same thing. They might not have done it the same way because they have different businesses, but they did that same thing. They might have marketed it the same way, or they might have taken the same first couple steps or done whatever it may be. But you know what I mean? So I'll definitely want to have entrepreneurs on, as well as artists as well. You guys are awesome. Mason asks, Ari, when is there going to be a Lakewood skate park?
Oh, man.
Or a Lakewood fishing tackle shop?
Well,
That's
Mason,
a good question.
First of all, Mason, do you skate? That skate park, I don't know. I mean, it's not a dead issue, but it's being talked about. But I can't answer anything on that. But as for the fishing tackle shop, you and your father and your Uncle Kevin can probably open a shop here in the city of Lakewood. I can help you figure out your space, get you in tune with the business managers, the economic development team. Get you a business license.
Looks like you're starting one, Mason. Yeah, Ari's gonna hold your hand all the way through that process. It sounds like.
I'll right by your side, buddy. Right by your side.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you what, dude. The best thing I ever did when I started my businesses was call LegalZoom. Dude, I'm telling you, they hooked it up. I had them start one of my businesses for me. I had somebody else start another one, but I prefer LegalZoom, and I tell you, LegalZoom is awesome for getting the paperwork and all that stuff taken care of. And then from there, I'm telling you, Shannon says, Ari, where's the Lakewood gun shops? There are no Lakewood gun shops.
Well, there's one.
Is there one?
There's Wannies.
Is it a gunsmithing shop though, or do they actually sell firearms and ammo?
I forgot the guy's name. He's really cool. We spoke on the phone a couple of times. Just couldn't pull the trigger on a trap gun. But
that's right.
There's Wannies in Lakewood, from what I know. But outside of that, there's nothing else.
Oh yeah, there's Ammo Bros in Cerritos, and then like you said that there's that one. And do they sell firearms there, or is it just
I don't know.
black
I think you probably
gunsmithing?
order consulting probably, but I mean he's there.
Like smithing,
Yeah,
okay.
I talked to him on the phone a couple times. He's a pretty cool dude, man. I forget his name. He's a good guy. I just haven't bit the bullet and kind of spent the money,
Yeah, I feel you, bro. I was in Turner's yesterday looking for a Taurus G2C, I think, 9mm, and they don't. I didn't realize this, but in California, you can't own a firearm that's made after 2012 for some reason. Apparently, I don't know, bureaucracy, whatever. So the only option they had was a Smith & Wesson 9mm, which was 150 more. But they're on back order for 4 months, so even if I would have bought it yesterday, I wouldn't have received it for like 4 months. So it's like, let me hold off on that for a quick minute here. But yeah, no, there's Turner's. I mean, that's about it. But there's nothing around here. But Ari, I got something for you today, man. I'm gonna give you a little bit. All right, so we're gonna go, and everybody out there can give Ari some hints if they would like. Let's see. Mason says Ari is goated. Shannon says, Ari, where are we with helping the homeless in Lakewood? Lots of work to do. Good question, but yeah. I'm sure Kiss City Council is addressing it as well as the community.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
And I have actually spoke with Jeff not too long ago about that actually, and I'm also very interested in helping out any way I can. So as you guys move forward with that, know that I'm willing to volunteer and help. I have another nonprofit called Life is Better with Blankets that does a blanket and a jacket and like stuffed animal drive every year around Christmas, and we donate to. We've donated previously to the Christian Outreach in Action on Atlantic and 3rd in Long Beach. It's the mission down there, the homeless mission, and then there's one on Union Mission in downtown LA, actually, and we've worked with them in the past as well, and donating our blankets as well. So anything you guys need, can use from either Life is Better with Blankets or myself or Arts and Enrichment Academy, count us in.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna get some surf trivia in, you guys.
There we go.
Some surf trivia.
Enjoy
all
the
right.
sport. I don't read the sport.
There we go. It's all good. You're gonna
Tell Bender yes.
you're gonna do great.
Bender yes.
Bender, yes. He says, Ari, were you ever up in Vancouver, Canada before or for the Vans Warped Tour?
Yes.
He says, yes. Mason says, my sister says we need some new liquid street signs. They are rusty. Good Lord. Ari, as soon as everybody finds out you're on city council, everybody says, Ari, we need new street signs. Ari, we need water.
There's
better
an app.
better
There's an
water.
app and
Yeah, I
you
know.
can send in to me.
I love it, dude. Yeah. Well, hey, this is the man
This
to
is
go
why
to
our
when
city
you
looks
have
amazing because people care.
I love this too, and you know what's funny
Right?
is that Jeff, I can't remember exactly why, but Jeff told me, hey, if I was helping Jeff throw out flyers one day for his campaign, you know, and you know at the registered voters' homes, you know, in the neighborhood. And he told me to tell them, if anybody wants to ask me any questions, give them my phone number. He's like, just call me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
I got tons of calls.
that's super cool, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that is super cool that you make yourself so accessible to the general public and just be like, you know what? Tell them to call me personally on my personal line, and we'll discuss whatever their concerns are.
Exactly.
I love that, dude. I love that, bro. And that's the kind of accountability that we all love. You know what I'm saying? He says, Bender says he thinks he met you back in the day. He says with Steve Caballero and Lance Mountain.
Maybe. That was years ago, man.
Yeah.
So many trips.
Yeah, indeed. All right, so a little bit of five. So we're gonna get five questions in. If you get 5 out of 5 right, I'll give you $5.
Oh, man.
If you get three out of 5 right, you get $1. All right, PayPal coming. Here we go.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Okay,
Scantron.
here we go. The pinnacle of professional surfing is the ASP World Tour. This consists of 11 annual events at various locations worldwide. The Quicksilver Pro is the first stop on the tour's itinerary. In what country is the Quicksilver Pro held?
Oh, man, dude. France?
Nah, it's Australia. Okay, and you can wait for hints too, and like
second
everybody's
choice.
gonna give out because they're gonna start hints. Okay, here we go. We're gonna start that over because he obviously didn't know about the hints. So y'all can throw out hints but not answers. Okay, or else the answer becomes null and void. All right, hints and I'm telling you, dude,
Okay.
just wait for the hints because they can lead a horse to water. I'm telling you,
got it.
They always do. All right, here we go. On what Hawaiian island is the Banzai Pipeline located?
North Shore Wahoo.
Oahu is correct. 1 for 1. Didn't even need the hint on that one. He was like, he almost answered it before I was done with the question. I love it. Okay. All right. Where is the surf break of Chicama? If I'm pronouncing that right. Chicama?
Chicama. Where's Chicama?
Chicama. Chicama is said to be the world's longest break, about 600 kilometers north of what city? It's a 3-kilometer long wave. Whoa. It's in... Where is the surf break of Chicama? You don't even have to tell me the city, just tell me the country.
I know, like,
Australia was the answer to number 1, by the way. It wasn't...
Chicama. Where's Chicama?
It wasn't France.
Not Costa Rica, El
No,
Salvador.
no, but you're on the right track. And so don't. So it's you're definitely on the right track, South America. So where is the surf break of Chicama? I'll give you a hint,
Peru?
actually. Dang, good answer. I was about to give you a legit hint. 2 for 2. 2 for 2. I love it. All right, cool. All right. One of the major areas of interest in the surfing industry is the retail of what's commonly known as surfwear, clothing designed with surf culture in mind. Which of these 4 major surfwear companies was not founded in Australia? Billabong, Rip Curl, Quicksilver, O'Neill, which was not founded in Australia?
O'Neill.
O'Neill is correct. What do we got? 3 for 3 now? All right, there it is. Billabong, Rip Curl, and Quicksilver were all founded in Australia. Billabong and Rip Curl remain Australian-based, but Quicksilver moved to Huntington Beach, California. Premier wetsuit manufacturer O'Neill was founded in San Francisco, California, and later moved to Santa Cruz.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay. All right. I can't ask you that one because you'll get that one too easy. All right. 3 for 3. 2 questions left. Here we go. Of the 4 main surfboard types, which is traditionally the shortest? Of the 4 main surfboard types, which is traditionally the shortest? This surfboard is traditionally a length of about 5'5".
Are you going to give me choices, or are you going to ask me?
Well, I can't. I guess I can.
I mean,
Okay. So it's either. All right. Here's the. All right. I've never even heard of this before. So okay. All right. I guess these are your
Okay.
hints, or these are your options.
answers. Okay.
Your options are Malibu, shortboard, minimal, or fish. Have you heard of this? These types of surfboards. What are of the 4 main surfboard
heard of
types? Which is traditionally the shortest? Have you heard of that? I've never heard of that before.
I've heard of, yeah, I mean, minimal is the only one I haven't heard of before.
But you heard of a shortboard, a Malibu, and a fish.
Well, Malibu is more of a longer board. That's more like your old school. But the fish, I mean, out of those, what was it? It was Malibu, longboard, no, wait. was it
Malibu, minimal,
Minimal.
shortboard, and
Shortboard.
fish.
Oh, man. I think your fish is the smallest.
Correct, sir. The fish surfboard is traditionally a length of about 5'5".
Yep.
The Malibu is the generic longboard shape, like you said, anything from 9 to 16 in length. The minimal is the typical beginner's board in the range of 7 to 9 in length, and shortboards vary a lot in length, but tend to be a few inches longer than the surfer who rides it.
Yep.
Interesting. 4 for 4. Here we go. One more. All right, you guys. You guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight in the listening room. You guys are awesome. Thanks to my guest, Mr. Ari Pay. Thanks to my co-host, Miss Daisy down there. We don't got a Daisy cam set up right now, but I'm gonna have that set. I'm gonna have that set up for tomorrow.
She's sleeping.
Yeah, that's right. She's just knocked out right there at Artie's feet. All right. All right. One more. Where is it break? Where is it question? Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Cloud 9 is a gnarly break, but where is it?
Cloud 9, Surigao Islands in the Philippines.
Oh, we got it right in the Philippines. 5 for 5. He gets the $5. He gets the $5 thing.
Put it in the jar.
All right.
Put it in the Eddie Booze jar, and let's see how big it gets.
I love it, dude. All right, cool, man. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today on the listening room. Thanks to my good friend, Mr. Ari Pay, for joining me as well. Thanks to you guys. You guys are amazing. And remember, guys, good things happen when you take the time to listen. My name is Eddie Booze. Thank you for joining me in the listening room. And join me tomorrow at 6:30 for Matt Edwall right here on the listening room. Thank you all. Love you all. Thanks for being a part of the listening room tonight. My name is Eddie Booze. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications, and give the video a like. We'll see you guys every Monday through Friday right here at 6:30. Take care.
Okay, say bye.
Bye. Bye.